My name is Michelle Felux, and I am an ocular melanoma thriver. And I came into the OM community with my diagnosis in March of 2018. I became involved with the MRF from doing research online after my diagnosis, which I was not familiar with beforehand. I had never heard of it. I didn't know cancer in the eye was even a thing. I thought melanoma only happened on the skin. And trying to find out more about it, I like to learn, and through a Google search is when the MRF popped up, and I started to look at the melanoma.org website and was excited to find ways of interacting with other people and that are on my journey, that know what I'm going through. And when I really discovered the Cure OM initiative that even addressed something for my rare cancer, I was very excited and wanted to learn all the events and how I could be involved. I think bringing awareness of ocular melanoma is incredibly important, since I didn't know that it was a thing, and I've had glasses since first grade. So being at the eye doctors for me was very common, and I didn't even know that this was possible. So for those that I've known that don't go to the eye doctor, they don't have glasses, they might not even be aware that, geez, I need to get a dilated exam annually. And I think it can help prevent lives being lost, and can save people's vision, and also for them not to feel alone if they do end up getting a diagnosis. But I think early detection is key, so the hashtag I get dilated initiative, I think, is very important, and I think it's something that's easy, and I like puns, and so I love that play on words, and I think it's an easy way to bring awareness to this rare cancer. It has been very impactful for me to come to these symposiums. My first one was in 2019, and I was only a year out from my diagnosis and my treatment, which was plaque radiotherapy. And to be in a room full of people that have what I have was so meaningful to me, and it was very touching that I didn't have to explain what was going on with me, what I've been through. They all knew. And the fact that they also even just knew what I have. None of the people that or my loved ones or friends knew about this beforehand, and sometimes it can be difficult to keep explaining what's going on. Even to my medical professionals, I've had to educate them on ocular melanoma, and I've kept in touch with friends from 2019 throughout the years, and that's become my support system. And when I attended virtually as well, but when it was announced that we were going to be back in person here in Tampa for 2023, I definitely wanted to make that trip. I live in Virginia and wanted to see everyone in person and have that connection. The connection, but also the education. The speakers, the doctors, the scientists, the researchers that present is very informational, and I love to learn, and I've learned so much on my own disease, how I can go about if I get metastatic disease, what that might look like. And it's so touching and moving to be in a group of people from all aspects that know what I'm going through. When I learned that it was going to be back in person for 2023, and being in Tampa, which I actually used to live here about 15 years ago, I wanted to be more involved. I love being an advocate for Hill Day with the MRF, and I wanted to find more ways to help serve and use my skill set to help others that are on this journey with me. And so I reached out and to see what I could do. And through that, I suggested some community connection. So in bridging that gap of feeling like we're isolated because it's so rare, and oftentimes we're not around anyone in our geographic homes that have this, to know that we're not alone and we are a community with each other. So I suggested having a bingo game, so not your traditional bingo, but finding squares of people who has skydived, who has ridden a motorcycle, who has not been to Disney, who has not seen a Star Wars movie. And it was really exciting to see everyone walking around and filling out those squares and having a good time and laughing. And I think that's also important because it can be a lot overwhelming with these topics. And then also having some icebreaker questions, just having fun. A popular one today, if you could see any movie again for the first time, what would that be? And there were a lot of responses. And so just some fun, getting things ready for people to start the day. And also, being a certified body-mind coach, also having some presentations on ways to have some tools if you're having a bad day so it doesn't spiral out of control, what that looks like. And then also going into some of the things that come up for us after we get diagnosed, after our treatment, of different burdens that we feel, financial burdens, emotional burdens, things like toxic positivity, stuff that at least I wasn't told after treatment was done, and normalizing that, and then ways to help cope with that when those feelings start to arise, and really just giving better tools to help themselves and learn to embrace what makes them happy and makes them feel good, like dressing up. So I just reached 5 years after my diagnosis. That was just last month, and so I'm NED. So I'm very excited about that. I don't see very well out of my bad eye, which was my right eye. So I tell people, don't ask me to pour anything unless you want to possibly wear it. Because the depth perception is not well. I run into things, I don't see anything on this side, so sometimes that can be interesting to adapt. However, I've used my diagnosis to pivot my career. That's how I discovered body-mind coaching, to really help my clients as more of just, I'm a licensed massage therapist, to bridging that gap and helping others that have chronic health conditions, even if it's not just cancer. It's impacted my entire life in a positive way. And I love being able to help serve others and being excited and helping with the MRF and other people here at the symposium and beyond. And I'm excited for the future, and if the worst thing happens, if I don't see anything, I'm good with that. And there's been silver linings in this, which I don't know if I would have seen without the involvement that I've actually been able to have with the MRF and the symposiums.